I love you. Welcome back to the couch. Potatoes.
Yeah, that's what we call
am
them.
the Green Traveler from Gorge.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Welcome back to Green and Faceless on the Couch, a podcast about movies and TV.
It's in the new year.
It is in the new year. And we're not talking about any one thing specifically because we're going to do
the best
of the year.
We give our awards before the Oscars can give theirs.
Yes, and also it's New Year's, so
yeah.
Turning
over a new
come out
leaf
today that we aren't?
I'm sure.
We should be watching.
There's a lot of 2023 films that I still want to see.
Yeah, me too. Because I have seen like
a lot of TV shows too that I want to watch. Yeah, you watched as per usual with our record. I think this is our third best of that we've done.
I think so.
I watched upwards of 43 movies.
I didn't do a count, but I can real quick.
It was close to about 11-ish, I think.
I'm counting.
He's counting everybody. He's taking off his shoes.
Yeah, I was one off. It was 11.
It was 11? I was right then. That's what I had said you had guessed.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That
said, I watched 11 shows. Actually, I watched 8 shows. I buffed it out and said I watched 11. 3 shows I did not finish. They bored me to tears. And
that's okay. I included at least one show that I did not finish.
And see, that's fair. I think that is totally fair. I did not include that show. I will give it a dishonorable mention when we get to that area.
No, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair game because I think we're talking about the same.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair game. I think, since I did not finish it, I don't think it's fair for me to include it on my worst of, even though I know it's there. I
may have finished, but I didn't finish it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how that show went.
Oh my.
Well, I'm a bad man.
How did we want to structure this? Do we want to get the shitties out of the way before we talk the goods?
Yeah, let's talk our worst of. The 5 worst.
Yeah, the pieces of garbage.
You have just 5 worst, period.
In general.
And that's what I did too.
Okay.
Just in general as well.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
Let's do our least
worst.
Of the 5 worst.
Least worst. Not the worst, but in the bottom 5.
Okay. You go first.
I wanted to include it. There's so many dishonorable mentions that should be on this list.
Right.
But I put Slaughterhouse as my 5th worst. It's a beautiful movie. I love Sloss. I love the goofy campiness of this movie. It's not good. It's obviously, it knew what it was doing. It knew how bad it was. There's literally a line in the movie, "Don't go back in there. It's a slaughterhouse." So that should tell you what the movie's like. It's not good. But I had a great time with it, and I still wanted to include it on the list because...
Just because you wanted to talk about it?
It is beautiful. It's on Amazon or wherever the fuck it's at. Go find it.
Well, I didn't dislike my least worst, my 5th place worst as well.
Your best least worst.
My best least worst.
I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how English works either.
Yeah.
So... How to become a cult leader.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember you talking about that.
It's fun, but I feel like they know what they're doing with the format, I think, but that's really all they got. And besides Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage is the narrator, but it needed a bit more oomph, I think. To really make it something, but it's fun, and they got this playbook where they talk about how to become a cult leader.
Nice, yeah.
But really, it's just docs about different cult leaders that have existed, and it was a sequel to How to Become a Tyrant.
Oh, okay.
Same format, and I felt the same way. Like it was fun to watch, but it was missing something.
Yeah, needs a little more.
Yeah.
So my 4th worst, my next least worst, worst thing, was Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, it seemed pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. It was really awful. It's for the kids, and the kids aren't even into it at all.
Yeah.
Like even, I don't know. I'm not hip with the kids these days. I don't know. I don't hang around kid parks or anything. So
yeah, that's probably great.
yeah, I'm not on any lists to my knowledge for the best because I don't know what interests the kids, but it wasn't this. It did not.
No.
I remember in my theater there was like I think 2 kids, and both of them were bored as fuck all.
Yeah.
Gage, I went to see it with him, and his response was that might be the worst movie I've seen.
Kids,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, Gage is one of the kids. I may have kidnapped a couple kids to take to see the movie.
No.
No, it's awful. It's a bad movie. I felt bad though because like I liked the cast. Lakeith Stanfield.
The cast looked good, but
Rosario Dawson.
As soon as I saw the second trailer, for some reason, I was like, they didn't do it. They didn't pull it off.
They tried to do camp without doing camp, and it's so weird. It's bad.
It's bad. It looked bad.
Don't do it. Let shit die, especially when Eddie Murphy's wasn't good. Like,
yeah,
come on now.
Yeah,
you should learn better. Did Disney really make a lot of money with Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion?
No,
they're like, we need to remake that.
I don't think they could have.
No,
I think that.
Tax
but
cut.
if you, I don't know, they're just trying to make films based off their rides happen.
Yeah, to keep rights.
Well,
and shit.
Pirates of the Caribbean worked so well, so that's why they keep on shooting their foot in that direction.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Which, that wasn't a terrible movie.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, Haunted Mansion looked pretty bad. So, my fourth place in this list is snake oil.
I remember, I remember you talking about it.
I talked about it?
I remember the name.
It had to have been within the week because I watched it like Christmas Eve.
You didn't talk about it on the show. I remember you talked about it, though.
All right. Well, this is new to you then, audience, potatoes. Snake oil. It's another that I didn't dislike. In fact, the concept of it, I really like. It's a game show. It's hosted by David Spade, who, growing up, I really enjoyed David Spade.
I just had to remember it wasn't you. It was somebody else that talked to me about it.
Oh, okay. I was like, how?
Yeah.
When did this happen? I've only seen you like
David
once
Spade
or twice.
And it clicked. I was just like, nope. I remember what. Yeah, it was somebody else.
What David Spade does is that he has 2 normal everyday citizens and 2 celebrities, the upper echelon of our society. They form teams like 1 normal person, 1 elite, and 1. They don't call them that in this show. It just was clicking in my mind that it's like, hey, it's okay. We'll bring in this celebrity class to help you. But anyways, the one episode that I watched, I really only watched 1 episode, and for a game show, that's enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
They had Adam Devine, comedian, actor.
Yeah, barely.
Okay, from Workaholics, anyways. But he comes in, and he's advising this one woman, and then there was this man, Hootie, from Hootie and the Blowfish. I forget his real name. Yes. Darian, I think.
Crocker.
Darius? I
Popper.
forget.
Something. Darius Popper or Crocker.
Okay, well, Hootie. Hootie was there, and it was great. And anyways, they advised them on whether or not they think these products are real life products or fake snake oil made for the show. Yeah, it's they bid money, and the person who wins this round goes on to the next round, so it's a little Price is Right feeling in that way. But my complaints about the show, because I like the concept, it's hilarious. And they also show a fake infomercial for each.
Oh my god.
Like even the real products, they make a fake infomercial, and they're hilarious. The comedians and those are hilarious. So that part, A+. However, like, the advertisement of it has David Spade dressed like, a turn of a century flim-flam man. And in the studio, they went all like sci-fi and like they make the audience go whenever they mention snake oil or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
It'd be annoying as
Well,
shit.
yeah, it's like you guys already came up with the concept. Stick with it. Like, and David Spade also in the episode I watched did not look like he was having fun.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's a big complaint there, and I think maybe because, sometimes I don't know. Like, it seems like this would be up his alley, but I think the producers decide what happened in the studio, and he's not happy about it.
It sounds like it's just a paycheck for him.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, besides that, it's a great concept, and if they change it back to the turn of the century thing, I think it would do a lot better.
My friend mentioned that him and his partner got inebriated, I will say, and tried to watch it, and just could not. They thought it was a prank, like the whole thing. They're just like, I don't know what I'm watching.
It does kind of feel that way because like they turn on the infomercials, and if you don't like know that they're fake infomercials at first, they could fool you. It's I think it's worth trying because the concept is fun. I just hope they fix the aesthetic for next season.
That's fair. My third worst is Exorcist. I think it was called Believer. It was awful. It's the Scott Teams, Danny McBride
group that keeps on taking franchises and
fucking running them into the ground with all the dumbest bullshit imaginable, and like it's so annoying. Like I don't know. Like I like Danny McBride. I've seen some of his comedy. I think he's great.
It's funny. Yeah.
He can be serious, and he can be great serious. I don't know. I just don't like him taking on these horror franchises with his buddies because they fucking suck. Like it's like they don't realize what makes the originals timeless. Like what makes them classics. Like because they're dated.
Yeah.
It's like you watch Halloween nowadays. Yeah, it's dated, but the idea behind it is awesome. Like, the John Carpenter making this movie from scratch, basically, off of a small shoestring budget within a month.
Yeah.
Like, doing the whole soundtrack himself. The idea of the shape of Michael
great.
Myers. Yeah, it's great. The franchise that extended beyond it, fucking awful, man. Yeah. And we've talked about it many times on this show already. Like, but it's the same thing with The Exorcist. There's something beautiful in The Exorcist about, like, the power of faith, the power of... the mom in the original movie goes incredible lengths to find a scientific way to heal her kid before finally being like, fucking fine, I'll go to a goddamn priest. It must be a demon.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot, she's not religious. She goes to all these ways to find, And then in this movie, they bring all the original cast. Well, I say they bring all the original cast back. They brought Linda Blair, the daughter, back for like a 5-minute scene at the end. It's the dumbest shit ever. It's really just a shoehorn cameo. But like they do that with the mom too, where it's just like, we got Christine back, and then it's like, oh, stabbed her in the eyes. Now she's not in the movie.
Fuck off.
And, and it's like she's also like she thinks she can just do Exorcist now because she's been like 30 years experience and everything. It's like you guys don't fucking understand what was important about the original movie. Like
no.
And they tried to do this shoehorn thing about like choices and the power of choices and everything, and it's fucking convoluted and stupid. And everybody in the production, like the writing, the producers, like I want to say everybody, it might not be everybody, it might be like 90-95% of them are white. And there's like heavy race lines, which good for them to trying to be
but
diverse.
You could bring somebody onto the creative crew.
Yeah, bring somebody on the creative crew, and if you don't have somebody in the creative crew, just hire a diverse cast and don't make race part of the overall message because you're not the ones supposed to be talking about this. You can't deliver that message, and that's like there's so many points in this where I'm just like, this feels like a white guy wrote this.
At least not in the setting of our world.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to talk about race and fantasy, that's different. I think
by all means, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
that's a free
built
world
for that.
Yeah. Free range area to a sandbox,
but
if you will.
If you make it in our modern setting or in a period setting, then you gotta get the people who have experienced that oppression on board.
And I could not with Exorcist Believer. It was so stupid. Like the whole movie, I'm just like, I think I went to see it with my one friend who was easily scared. Neither of us got scared. I think there's 2 moments in that movie where we were just like, ooh, okay, it was just a jump scare. We're good. Nothing else for the rest of the movie. And I play a horror game with her almost every week.
Yeah.
And she stays in the truck in the horror game.
It's
helpful.
Too scared.
Don't get me wrong. We have just discovered a great way to make her super helpful, and she's great at it in the truck. But she's easily scared. Got through all of Exorcist Believer, a horror movie, a sequel to one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Got through the entire movie with no jump scares.
Oh, that's too bad.
Stupid.
Well, I'm looking ahead here. My third worst is your second worst.
Fabulous. Let's discuss it.
So, the Year of the Dog.
Wah, wah.
Or is it just Year of the Dog?
I don't know.
No. That's the best thing that
no
came
need
from
to
it.
howl.
And it really was the worst part of the movie.
If you step on a Lego brick, it hurts. I know. It's not the real lyric, but you get the point.
Yeah, I think it was step on something sharp. But I don't know.
If you step on a knife, it hurts. I know.
Well, anyways, it wasn't a very good movie.
No.
I don't think it was the worst movie ever, but it wasn't very great.
No. Needs to focus on storytelling and creativity more.
Yeah. I think having the dog sled thing be in it was interesting.
Yeah. Full movie.
I think it could have been a little bit more focused on, and then when there was a decision made to not make the dog do that anymore, I think they should have stuck with that.
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
No, it was dumb, and then I don't know. It's such a boring, forgettable movie that I do remember a lot about it, oddly.
Yeah.
But I remember it for the wrong reasons because it's just okay, it is my second worst. I think it was the worst movie I've saw this year because it was the one that honestly pissed me off the most in regards to watching it, because I remembered watching it and being like, why am I doing
why
this?
Is this being watched?
It's like, I know we're doing this for the show.
It was a potato pick, and I don't think it's their favorite movie.
No, I don't think they recommended it.
They recommended a different movie?
I remember because there's 2 Year of the Dogs or something.
There is one that stars this woman from SNL, but I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but I think when we never followed up with them, we apologize for that.
Yeah.
But I think they had intended we'd watch the other one.
We did message them.
We did.
Yeah. They're in the middle of a movie.
Yeah, that's right. But we had just, we'd watched the movie and we were just like, this sucks so much, we gotta talk it.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. It's
and it was new.
Even if we do watch the other movie, we gotta talk this movie.
Yeah. And the other one wasn't new. This one was new.
Yes.
And I don't know. I feel bad because I commend the guy for making a movie.
Right. And I think if it is his freshman try, it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's there is something there. Maybe make it a short. He went too big for a big boy movie. Make it a short film about a sled race and addiction. Something there.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be good.
Yeah, there's some stuff that could be cut. Yeah.
We've already seen that movie.
The same footage. Really.
Yeah, I know there's already movies out there about that, but it's fine.
Right.
It's whatever. He could have done it.
And maybe that he did do it as a short first.
And I just commended or applauded John Carpenter for doing his own music for Halloween. If you don't know how to make music,
you should.
Don't plug it into your movie, because I'm fairly sure that song was his.
We can't find it anywhere.
It only makes sense that him and his best friend, who was his co-star in the movie, who was his addiction buddy, Like, that's what I'm thinking. I think they both had a song, and they're just like, oh, man, that's so good. And it's like, yeah, man, that's so good. Don't call.
All right.
Don't.
We're moving on because we have already talked the year of the dog.
Yep. So your second worst.
My second worst is The Little Mermaid.
All right.
Live action The Little Mermaid.
That's on my dishonorable mentions.
Yeah, I really did not care for it because it just didn't add anything new. It was completely unnecessary. I think I feel the same way as I feel about the Pinocchio movie.
Yeah.
And that didn't make it on my worst list, really.
Well, that's because
honestly, it might have been worse. But I think I watched a lot more.
Well, it was
that year.
It was also overshadowed by Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which came out last year.
So
it's just amazing. Like you saw Pinocchio and you're like, oh, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is so good.
Yeah, and I think that was on my top 5 list. Actually,
I think it topped mine. I can't remember if it was up there. This year has not been amazing.
Well, I really didn't watch that much at all. Like, this is my list. I don't have it numbered, but that's the entire watch list.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Of new stuff. I've watched older stuff, for fun. Like I probably watched
porn,
I probably watched the whole trilogy of the Lord of the Rings twice.
Oh geez, yeah.
And we haven't finished this.
We're working on it. Yeah.
And then I've been watching One Piece since the summer.
Nice. I've been watching a bunch of other shit. Doctor Who, Samurai Champloo.
Samurai Champloo. I didn't hear what you said exactly.
Sammy Champloo.
But yeah, anyhow, The Little Mermaid, I thought, honestly, Ariel was the best part, I thought.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't mind Melissa McCarthy as Ursula either.
I didn't.
I think she did a fine job.
And they did some things in this movie better than in the original. Right. But still, it's kind of just a problematic story, and I didn't care. They could have made it completely different. They just make it different.
And Javier Bardem as
I did king. Like him. I think he's a good pick.
Good pick, but underused.
I just didn't care.
Don't give Eric a fucking song and not focus so much on King Trident. Like, I mean, King Trident.
The guy who was Eric though did a good job too.
Yeah, right? Just don't give him a song. Why the fuck did he get a song? It was so weird. Like I remember. I can't remember his song at all, but I remember hearing it and being like, "Was this in the original?"
No, it wasn't.
Like, what the fuck is this? Remember hearing this shit? Yeah, and then Aquafina got a song too, which I actually liked, but at the same time, what in the fuck is with Scuttlebutt? It's like
I did like making him like a kind of kingfisher type of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like that it could still sing underwater though.
Yeah, that was weird.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, apparently those birds can breathe underwater.
They can't breathe underwater. They can hold their breath for like 30 minutes.
I don't know. Like I read something about how it worked, and I was like, I guess. Like I didn't like it.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Evolution is a weird thing.
Yeah, it's very weird. They can't breathe underwater for the whole time. Right?
Tell me what your worst is.
My worst movie. I feel bad about this. I love Jenna Ortega. One of my favorite actors right now. But Scream 6, let the fucking franchise die, please. Like, people liked it too. That's the thing. There's a lot of people out there who like it. This is another franchise that's forgotten the fucking point. Like, it should be making fun of itself harder at this point because that's what it was supposed to do, like Scream.
That's what the whole point of that one is.
It's all about making fun of the genre.
Yeah.
And then the sequel is all about making fun of sequels of the genre. And the third one is all about making fun of the third ones of the genre. They were trying to keep this going, and somewhere they lost it and we're like, oh shit. By this point, they should have fucking zombies running around doing crazy shit. Somebody's like, I thought this entire movie, I was like, this movie can be saved. It's not awful. It's not like unwatchable. It has some good moments. There's some good stuff here. But for the most part, when I got to the ending, I was so mega disappointed because my thought process as we were watching this is there's somebody out there who has brought the Scream killer of the very first movie back from the dead to haunt his daughter in the 6th movie, because that's what we found out in the 5th movie, is that she's his daughter, Billy's daughter.
I see.
So they bring Billy and Stu, in my opinion. They should bring Matthew Lillard back. He's just fucking around on the Fridays at Freddy's set, or Five Nights at Freddy's set. Like, bring him in. He's free. Like, he can do Scream 7, but, like, bring them back from the dead. Have somebody, you know, you're making fun of horror parodies. It's supposed to get stupid at this point.
Right.
Like that's what Halloween did. That's what, like, all of them have done. They killed their killer and they brought him back from the dead. You know, it's like, do it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be making fun of the goddamn franchise, which is what Scream is supposed to do, fucking do it. And they're not doing it.
Fucking do it.
You know what they did? I'm sorry to spoil it. You know what they did? Yet another multi-killer thing. Wow. How
that's
fucking original. And the saddest part too is I was like, the whole movie I'm like, man, I'm really hoping they do this, but I'm pretty sure it's these 2 people. And it was those 2 people. And there was also a 3rd person.
Oh, okay. Well, they got you there.
They got me. They got me. The worst movie I saw this year.
All right. The worst thing I saw this year. That sounds pretty bad, I gotta say. But you can agree with me that this was pretty bad.
We'll find out.
And I did not finish it. But I think it was definitely worse than Velma.
Yeah.
Velma. And, you know, you said that they didn't do the thing in Scream 6. Well, they did the thing in Velma.
They brought people back from the dead.
No, they didn't bring them back from the dead. They just did it a lot.
Oh. Sex.
Yeah, it was mostly about sex. Scooby-Doo's not in it, so it's not about Scooby-Doo.
That's probably for the best, though, if it's mostly about sex, to keep the dog out of it.
Yes, definitely. That's true. Yeah, Shaggy doesn't like drugs. Like, if you're going to make an adult version, why can't he like drugs? In fact, the whole joke is that he doesn't like drugs.
Well, but by season 2, he can become interested in drugs.
That's true.
They can grow him into
That's true.
The only problem is that then rewrites the canon of the pup named Scooby-Doo. Which I love that show.
Yeah.
And I would not want Velma to rewrite the canon of that.
I do kind of like the hallucination thing that Velma's going through.
Yeah.
But they don't... the rest of it is just so bad that...
Yeah.
I couldn't
I agree.
finish it.
The voice acting was... No offense to Mindy Kaling, but, like... I couldn't stand a lot of the voice acting in that show. Not Velma specifically, but the entire cast.
Thing. Yeah.
Like, a lot of it just felt shoehorned and, shabbled together like this show.
It was Mindy's fan fiction written into a TV show.
And, you know, like, good for you.
Yeah.
You know, good for you, girl. Like, that, all the power to you. But... No, I couldn't finish it. I remember I got like 4 or 5 episodes, and there was one episode where I'm like, I can do this. You know, it wasn't that bad. And then I watched the next episode, and I was like, no, that's not bad.
I think I watched the 3rd or 4th, but
I headed in to 2023 watching that show. Yeah. I was excited.
Yeah,
I remember being like, I'm gonna try new things.
There's kind of a sexy Scooby-Doo thing coming out. I'm down for that.
I had a resolution of having more TV shows watched. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna have like 20 TV shows watched this year.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was gonna go big or go home, and I watched that and was just like, fuck TV.
Fuck TV.
TV sucks. I hate America.
There's so much good TV. All right, let's talk about things we like now.
Well, let me run through my dishonorable mentions. This will be fast. The Flash and Aquaman. Thank God the Snyderverse is dead in DC. I'm sorry. I know people love the Snyderverse out there. You're fucking weird to me. It sucked, and yay, it's over with. It was awful CGI. I'm hoping James Gunn can fix it. Fast X. Oh, God. Like, I don't know. I unironically like Fast and Furious, but like that hurt. Another show I didn't finish was that 90s show. I didn't finish that 90s show. Same reason as Velma. You know, it's not all about sex, but it's just like you're rehashing something I enjoy and doing it in a stupid way that I don't care about.
It's very... I think I watched it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. That 90s show?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not worth it. They pretty much photocopied the personalities of people and did a very bad job of it. Indiana Jones, let the franchise die.
It's funny because I put it in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Because I didn't think it was, the best movie in the world. I really didn't expect it to be either. But I thought it was a competent last Indiana Jones movie.
I remember one scene.
I remember a lot of it, actually.
I don't. I'm so bad. I feel bad about it.
I remember
him riding a horse.
CGI Harrison.
I do remember that. And,
then, yeah, just him. Like, he definitely did a lot less stunts in this movie than in the past, and that was fine. But I liked the Archimedes stuff. Like, I'm a nerd for Greek.
Oh yeah, they
stuff,
go back in time. I forgot about that. Yeah,
they do go back in time. Spoilers.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But I'm cool. I was cool with it.
They killed Shia LaBeouf off screen. Honorable mention. It's moving up.
All right. Go ahead.
My last three: Cocaine Bear at 65 and Ant-Man: Quantumania. 65. Forgettable. I'm sorry, Adam Driver. I remember your movie wasn't that good. It was forgettable.
Yeah.
It's just silly. And that name, 65, is fucking dumb. Because it's 65 million years ago. Right. So if they do a sequel now, it's gonna be called 64. It's stupid. Really stupid. Cocaine Bear. God, what a trip. I my favorite thing about Cocaine Bear still is that it ends with Ray Liotta getting mauled by a bear, and then it cuts to black and says, "In memory of Ray Liotta."
Oh no!
It's the most insensitive thing I've seen in theater.
So funny!
It was so funny. But it was so bad.
Alright, I gotta tell you something that I learned that is kind of adjacent to Cocaine Bear. While I was looking through a list of movies and TV shows that were made worldwide this year, because I watch a lot of things and I just want to make sure I caught everything. Anyhow, I did get to 2050 and say, wow, I don't know how much longer this is, but I can't do it. Anyhow, I found a couple of movies also made this year. The same vein as Cocaine Bear.
Yes, Cocaine Shark.
Cocaine Shark, yes. Have you heard of this one? I'm trying to remember. Oh shit, I can't remember. I think it was the Florida Meth Croc or something like that.
Oh my god, that sounds fabulous.
I have to look it up.
Attack of the Meth Gator?
Yeah.
Attack of the Meth Gator, dude.
I laughed so hard. Cocaine Shark didn't really surprise me, but then Attack of the Meth Gator, I was like, what?
Dude, that looks fabulous.
Yeah, maybe we should do all three of those sometime.
No.
All right, well, if you like that suggestion, you can go down to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Become a sofa spud or a real couch potato, and you can make that suggestion.
Oh, that's not who I thought it was. And then Ant-Man was my last dishonorable mention.
Okay.
For the best that we're saying goodbye to Jonathan Majors as Kang, but at the same time, Kang is their big bad, big boy new villain, and Ant-Man has him getting defeated by a group of ants. That's funny shit, man. It's really stupid. It's fine. It's not a bad movie. Yeah. It's just it's another one of Marvel's. What are you guys doing? Are you trying here? Or is this did you need a tax cut? What is this? Alrighty.
All right. Well, I do have a couple of things that almost made it on the worst list. Maybe it was just one thing. And it really, honestly, I didn't mind it. I just thought it was pretty bland for, who it was by. And that is Pixar's Elemental. Or is it Elementals? Either way.
The Flamehead and the Water Boy.
Yeah. It was a cute romance or whatever, but it was nothing new.
Yeah.
And they're all about doing new.
Yeah.
And it was just okay.
My same friends who watched that one snake oil show.
Yeah.
So they tried to go see it. I didn't see Elementals. The reason I didn't see it, though, is because they said they took a substance before going to see the movie, similar to a substance they were on when watching Snake Oil, and walked out of the movie within 10 minutes. And I was just like, that bad? And they're just like, fuck it.
Oh, man.
Sorry, you're hearing my dog in the background. She's going crazy. There's another dog walking by.
You're a good girl, though.
But yeah, let's. Do you have in your honorable mentions? Or is it TV shows and movies, or do you have?
I have a mixed list that I'll go through after because you just did top TV and top movies.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That is totally fine. But before we talk about things that we actually like, let's take a soda pop break.
Yeah. I love you. Okay, dokie, back to the couch. We're here. We're gonna go with the top 5 movies and everything, and then we'll just talk dishonorable or honorable mentions, I guess, at the end, things that could have been.
Right.
But my number 5 movie, fifth best movie of the year.
Fifth best movie.
Oppenheimer. Great. Christopher Nolan's latest. Cillian Murphy is fucking phenomenal. Like, one of the best performances I've seen from Cillian Murphy in years. Same thing with Robert Downey Jr. Like, he is incredible.
I have heard they're very good.
Yeah,
and I do want to watch it.
So same with Florence Pugh and Emily Blunt. All I could think of was John Krasinski's wife, and I was like, God damn it, I hate myself so much right now. Emily Blunt. All of them great acting all around. And, it's like there was so much talk about the big explosion, and I will say I was, all struck in the theaters watching the big explosion. I was like, this is really well done. Everything is beautiful. A lot of talk. It's very classic style cinema where it's very dialogue and character heavy. And, Christopher Nolan throws his charm in there just as normal. The only big problem is he gets the soundtrack wrong again. He always has beautiful soundtracks that he makes way too fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta tone the fucking volume down. I don't care if that's your style. I want to be able to hear people talk.
Right.
I don't.
Especially, I don't get it. Like,
No.
that the point is for me to get the story from these characters.
Yeah. And if I can't hear the dialogue, I understand it makes me, need to rewatch it multiple times with subtitles and everything. Fuck you. Just let me be able to hear the damn movie in the theaters.
What if I don't like the movie?
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't hear it.
Exactly. But no, it was a great movie. I think there's a lot of good history. It was very... got people talking about films again, too. It was a big boy film. It was 3 hours long. It was just, huge. And it came out in the same week as another movie I'm going to talk about later. It was an event. It was a movie event.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, okay. Bottom of the top list, I have Renfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Renfield, I can't say was, a big favorite of mine.
That's fair.
But I did enjoy it. And I enjoyed the Knicks together quite a lot.
Gotcha.
And I don't remember what I gave it in the review when we did the episode on it, but I give it 1 star. So, that says something about the amount of films that I watched. That is,
you gave it 1 face.
1 face. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. It's a competent movie.
No, I question putting it on my dishonorable mention list. It's fine. I see where you're coming from. It is, there are fun moments.
Yeah.
I can't stand Awkwafina. She's hit or miss for me, and in that movie, she's a big miss.
You know what? I kind of forgot she was in it, so that does say something.
But, I do love the voice of Sonic. I can't remember his name right now. Damn.
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz, thank you. I remember I was thinking Ben. I was like, Ben sounds wrong. Ben Schwartz, he's great. I love him getting to be a crazed fucking drug dealer, mafia son guy. That was fun. Nick Cage. Nick Cage is fun.
Nick Cage is great.
Yeah.
That's like, him being Dracula is
I like
awesome.
a Bella style Dracula too.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very specific. And I think he suggested, like, basically right after it, that he would love to make a Dracula movie.
and by all means,
Yeah, that would be great.
I would love to see it more of him, and just in general, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially when he's got good guidance.
Yeah. There was a long period where I was like, nah, can't stand it.
Yeah, he's
But
too crazy. He
It's
still
just-
is crazy.
He is out there a little bit, but he knows how to perform.
Yeah. When he is on it, he's great.
Yeah.
Like, if he is feeling the character and everything, by all means, like, that can be fun.
Right. Yeah. Actors are allowed to have slumps.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
going
sorry.
back and forth.
No, you go ahead.
Number 4 for me is Studio Ghibli's latest, The Boy and the Heron. You have not watched that, right?
I haven't, but I'm really excited to watch
It's
this.
great. I loved it a lot. One of the best experiences I've had in the theaters. I remember the artwork is incredible. There's some very beautiful moments. It's very touching. It's a personal movie for Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot about his childhood imbued into the story, which is just touching, and it gets trippy as fuck. There's some really crazy
the
shit.
Has teeth.
Yeah, I won't talk too much about it. And the voice acting cast, I watched it dubbed in English, of course, in the theaters, which was great. I'm so happy I got to see that. Great voice acting cast: Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson, like great people. Like, it's really good cast and everything. It's so funny though. I remember we got through the end of the movie, and there's a lot of metaphor. You definitely walk out, and it's one of those movies where it's like, that meant something you have to discuss. And the people I saw it with, 2 of them were like, whoa, like there's definitely a lot to look into there.
Yeah.
And the other one was like, what the fuck did I just watch? like he was still interested in discussing it and exploring it, but it was just a little too trippy for him. For me, it was the perfect amount.
I mean, being a big fan of the trippier Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
I think I will love it, and I've been looking forward to it.
It's very beautiful.
And I do kind of wish that I had taken the opportunity to see it in the theaters, but it was just a hard year.
Yeah.
Just a hard year. So, moving on. Next is a movie that I really did love. And I still do. And that's Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Hell yeah.
I love that movie.
It's in my honorable mentions, baby.
Yeah, it's just great. It's what it needed to be. It's not like the best movie in the world, but like out of the movies that I saw this year, I thought it definitely worth being on the list. And it's just a very personal relationship with the game that's being portrayed, and
in a good way.
In a good way, it wouldn't. If it was a shitty Dungeons and Dragons movie, I'd probably still like it somewhere inside of me. But the film critic in me is like, this is actually a good movie. Yeah.
Because it's like, the Doctor Who movie.
Yeah.
It's not that great, but I'm going to watch it and be like, yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's the same. Well, I mean, we talked that old D&D movie with
we sure did.
Jeffrey Irons.
Jeremy Irons. You got it in the first one. Yeah.
Because it's just like, I mean, even that movie is not good. But I remember
good,
you were just like, there were some parts that were like, you were like, I like this part, and I was just like, come on. No, it's like
there was some stuff that, like, if it had like 10 times the budget, that could have worked. But it was bad.
It was bad. But you can tell. I think it ties in though with I'm switching mine around actually because this was an old one. Okay. My third one is actually Barbie. And it ties in well to what your fourth one is because D&D was taking a franchise and doing justice to it in an honorable light that like served it well. Yeah. Same thing with Barbie. They took Mattel and this toy And they did a great fucking emotional story on it.
Great job.
Very satirical, you know. It's like it's looking at like how this doll has affected female society in general.
Yeah.
And how it's empowered them and how it's not empowered them, how it's truly affected them.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Great acting all around. Greta Gerwig's storytelling as the director and writer with her partner Noah Baumbach. Phenomenal. Like everything about it is beautiful. I've watched it like 3 times. I love it. The music's great. It's got Ncuti Gatwa in it from Doctor Who. I'm all obsessed with him. Everybody in my life knows that I have. He is my next big crush.
It also brought us Knuff.
Yes, it brought us Knuff. I am Knuff. We're all Knuff.
We are all Knuff.
And Ryan Gosling's phenomenal as Ken.
Yes,
like,
he
Jesus.
Is. And also, like, it just it made me feel. So, you know, when we were growing up, there's a lot of stigma about gender stereotypes and whatever. But having Barbies in my house and having cousins who were little girls, I played with Barbies a lot.
Yeah.
And it made me feel good about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, because with the stigma, there's always kind of a shame associated with that. But, we had a good time pretending about the future and whatever with these dolls, and that's what the show's kind of all about. Yeah. So like and then obviously the feminist angle is
Margot Robbie is like leading of everything is so damn good.
Yes. Oh my god.
She
just the pause.
Yeah.
The pause and then being like, if you wanted to make this point, you shouldn't have used Margot Robbie.
If the screenwriters really wanted to make this or drive this point home, they would have cast somebody else. No, it's so true though. But like, because that's the thing is like she's very beautiful, but she brings the emotion of the story so fucking hard.
Oh yeah,
it's so
she's
good.
so good. And you know, I always thought she was good, and I had the feeling that some people thought my interest in her was superficial, and I'm like, no. I think she's really talented.
Yeah. And it's mainly because, you know, when people talk about it, it's like, well, Wolf of Wall Street, and it's like, oh yeah, where she was naked with.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like,
but she was also really good.
Yeah, she also did a damn good job in that movie. Yeah. It's like, yes, it's not ideal being that that's what drove her off, or, you know, but still.
Yeah, what got her attention.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barbie's great. The only reason I knocked it down in my list is because honestly, Will Ferrell. I still, don't get me wrong, I like Will Ferrell. His humor is not my thing. Yeah. And his parts in the movie are, because I've rewatched this movie now twice. I've seen it 3 times this whole year. I've watched it a lot, and his scenes are the ones that I hate the most. Where like whenever it goes to the company and Will Ferrell's there, I'm like, I can. This is where I can get up and go grab a drink from the kitchen or something.
Sure, yeah, I get that. Yeah, that I would say that kind of is a small blemish on the film. I thought his absurd humor kind of fit what was going on though, so it didn't jar me as much as some other cameo.
Especially with the fan theory that he's an Alan.
It's good. Love that.
Yeah.
Michael Cera plays Alan.
Yeah, specifically because of how Alan climbs over a fence and how Will Ferrell climbs over a cubicle wall. Yeah. It's the exact same. They could easily go around it, but they both chose the path to go over the most annoying way possible. And I'm like, yes.
Oh my god.
With that in mind, it makes Will Ferrell much better.
I actually love that. So my third place. My third place is Maestro, which I just watched yesterday because I wanted to try to beef up the list, and it was a good choice. Maestro is starring, I believe, directed by Bradley Cooper.
Oh, okay.
And he is playing Leonard Bernstein as a biopic.
Nice.
And it was a very good biopic, but, well, I will say it was a run-of-the-mill biopic, really. But I still really enjoyed it and thought that his performance alone was phenomenal.
Does he sing Hallelujah?
That's Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, that's Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
Does he
Which
sing
that
in
would
the
still
movie,
be interesting. No. maybe.
Ooh.
There might be one point where he sings.
Yeah.
He does more dancing than singing. But and conducting, obviously. But I thought it really actually focused more on his relationship with his wife, who I'm blanking the name now, and also who played her. But maybe we'll talk about it sometime. I thought it was worth watching and talking about. And Bradley Cooper, I think, he's really trying to break out in more of the creative side of the process.
Yeah.
And I think what he does is interesting. Like, the Rising Star. That's not what it's called, is it?
The Star is Born.
A Star is Born. Yeah, I thought that was a really good remake of that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see where his career goes. And I thought this was good. And I'm guessing it's going to get some Oscar buzz.
Fair. Yeah, I hadn't even heard about it, so that's interesting.
It just came out like a week ago.
Gee, on streaming now?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a looky look.
I enjoyed it.
My second best, my runner-up...
Face and a half.
Oh, fabulous. My runner-up, if you will, for the year. One I recommend everybody go out and see. I got to see it in theaters. It blew me away, almost literally. Godzilla -1. It's Japan's latest. They made.
Okay. It doesn't have to do with this monarch thing that it's.
Nope, it's not the American Kong versus Godzilla. This is
Godzilla.
This is in the whatever it's called, Toho company, whatever they are. It's their latest, a reboot, if you will, a soft reboot.
Okay.
Going all the way back to World War II.
Oh, wow.
Takes place in the year of the dropping of the bomb.
Okay.
And it centers around this one man who is a kamikaze pilot. He is, he's supposed to go do a mission, and he goes to an island instead to get repairs on his plane because he says that his plane has faults.
Yeah.
And the people there are like, hey man, your plane doesn't have faults. You're supposed to get up there and kamikaze. Sorry,
wow.
like, that's your duty. That's your honor. And he turns from that honor. Godzilla shows up on an island and absolutely mauls everybody there. And that guy's just like, I did this. He's just like, I could have. He's like, I could have saved these people if I had like kamikaze myself on Godzilla. I guess it's like there's more to it than that, but like it's a personal issue, and he ends up finding love. He falls in love when during like the year when the war's ending and everything, and then Godzilla happens after the war happens, and it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful story. The human element is, the storyline is great. Okay. Like it's really well done. And then Godzilla, terrifying. His atomic breath. He has an atomic breath scene that destroys a whole fucking city. And
like an atomic breath would.
And like an atomic breath should. And I'm not kidding. Is it on the same level as Oppenheimer? No. Like obviously Oppenheimer, like, there was a legitimate bomb created, like they went through this whole effort. A lot of money was poured into it. I was more impressed by Godzilla -1's explosion.
That's crazy.
It blew up the city, and I was literally just like, my mouth was open. I was like, holy fucking shit! Like I audibly said that in the theater, and I'm not kidding. Like obviously I am like exaggerating in the theater. Like I was a little crazy because I was like, I was in it.
Right.
It was really cool. And when it happened, I was like, holy fucking shit. And my friend was like, yeah, oh my God. And like afterwards, I was literally, no joke, like, that was better than Oppenheimer's explosion. And I feel like Christopher Nolan's watching the movie and he was like, fuck. They did that for like $100 million less than I did. And that was my own money. Like, he's pissed. Like, it was great. Go.
He watched it.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he had to. If somebody else did an atomic explosion the same year as him.
Well, I just feel like he's a fanboy.
Yeah, he's got to be. Godzilla. It's good stuff.
Well,
it's great.
Yeah. You really make me want to watch it.
Yeah, and like the human element is beautiful. Like, there's a great story there, especially with the kamikaze pilot. Like the finale, it's there's some goofy moments, but it's so good. Like, I love the finale so much.
Well, all right. My runner-up is They Clone Tyrone.
Oh, shit.
So, this is another one that I just watched very recently, trying to watch some new stuff.
This morning.
No, it wasn't this morning. It was, I think, Thursday, maybe. Anyhow, it stars Jamie Foxx and
Nice.
a couple other stars that I'm blanking on their name, but they realize that they are in that somebody is experimenting on their neighborhood, and particularly they notice that it's these white guys in fake afro wigs.
Oh, God.
And it's so ridiculous, and so it's they're playing the characters seriously, even though they're ridiculous characters. Not necessarily the main character, whose name is Dupont, I think.
Dupont.
That's not right.
Alexander
That's not quite
Dupont.
right. And I just watched this movie. And anyway, but Jamie Foxx's character is ridiculous. He's this pimp.
Nice.
And pretty classic, like, pimp attire with a pompadour and shit.
Hell yeah.
And the other main character is his main lady. And
His main squeeze, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say bottom bitch because that's what they used to say. But anyhow,
Oh, my God.
You find out that she's actually really smart and like is striving to be, I don't know, a doctor or something. And anyhow, yeah, they find out the neighborhood's being experimented on, and it all starts because the main character, who's a drug dealer, Jamie Foxx's drug dealer, actually, like right after leaving Jamie's place, he gets shot up by this other gang member that he pissed off, like right at the beginning of the movie. And then he comes by 2 days later.
He got cloned.
Yeah, and he's like, Fontaine was his name. That's not Dupont.
Oh, okay.
Fontaine.
Fontaine.
But anyway, he shows back up at Jamie's place, and Jamie's the one who found the body, and that's where it all starts, and it's ridiculous and great, and I had an amazing time watching it, and it really surprised me.
Nice.
Because I thought it could go either way.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Face and a half.
Hell yeah. Nice. My best of the year is one that I'm still surprised came out this year.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up and it was like, it came out in the summer, like June-ish, May, June. And I've seen it 5 times. It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I've been wanting to watch it.
It's so good. You haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it
Oh my
yet.
God. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, we should watch that sometime.
We should watch both of them.
Yeah, you haven't watched the first one?
I
know you.
have.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying as.
Well, there'll be a third. There'll be a third one coming out, so we'll have to watch it for a threesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll save it for that. Because it'll be worth it. Because
trilogy triumvirate.
yeah, this second movie is almost standalone. Like, it takes all the stuff from the first movie and it definitely builds off of it. Builds off the world, off the character. I mean, off of Miles in particular. Right. But you can honestly watch this without having watched the first one and be only mildly confused. Like, because it's like a lot of the other Spider-Men in the first one aren't in it until like way later. Like, and it's only, I mean, Gwen Stacy's in it for a big portion. She's a major character. But Jake Johnson's Spider-Man, Peter Parker, that is, he's not in until like 2/3 of the movie. Like, and it's not like a huge big role. Like, it's definitely setting up a third film where they're going to bring all of these elements together and make something humongous, and I can't wait at all. But it's so good. The soundtrack's amazing. The story and the artwork is phenomenal. I fucking love Miles Morales. Like, Miles Morales' character and his story arc in this movie, good stuff. Like, I get to the end and I still get chills at some of the lines. Like, he delivers some lines where I'm just like, fuck yes! Like, it's good shit. It's really well done. Like,
well, it sounds good, and I have been wanting to watch that one really bad. So my number one we already talked about.
Ooh.
And that is Barbie.
Hell yeah.
I was very moved by the movie.
Nice.
We went with the right group of people. It was and it was one of my few theater experiences this year too. So I really enjoy the movie, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Nice. I think we could run through the honorable mentions before we get to since yours are mixed, and then we can just work up through the TV.
Okay. I mean that's. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my honorable mentions, D&D, which we've already talked about. I love that movie. It was great. A lot of fun there. Same thing with Super Mario.
Super Mario almost made my list.
Yeah, same. Like, it was really close. It was on the list for a long time. It only got kicked off in, like, October or something.
Maestro, I watched Maestro last night, and it jumped up on
it beat out Super Mario.
It knocked it off.
Yeah.
It went.
I had a lot of reservations about Super Mario. My main issue is that, there are so many other voice actors out there. Not the shit on Chris Pratt,
right?
But like your main cast,
he did a good job.
Yeah, he did a great job. But like your main cast is Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Jack Black. 4 actors who can get any kind of face live action role they can imagine. Yeah. They don't need to struggle for getting those roles. Why are we giving voice acting jobs to people who aren't struggling in the voice acting world? Yeah. Give it to voice actors.
I can agree with that.
Like Charles Martinet. They had Charles Martinet, the actual voice of Mario, in the movie for a bit role.
Yeah.
Make a Mario. He's been the voice of Mario for years. He can fucking handle this. He is Mario, damn it. Like, what in the fuck? That was the weirdest decision.
I agree with you, and it was definitely to get more draw into the movie. But frankly, like, I think I would have been happier with being like, oh, there's a Super Mario movie coming out kind of quietly, and then go watch it, and it's a good movie, because it was a good movie.
It was a good movie, yeah.
I think I had reservations about going to see it because it was like, okay, they're throwing money at it. It's not going to be good.
Just Chris Pratt. Let's go. It's let's go. You dumb fuck. Mission Impossible. Great. That's a franchise that keeps on giving. Like, I don't like spy movies. Well, I don't like spy movies, and yet every time I see a Mission Impossible movie, I fucking love it.
The stunts are pretty great.
The stunts are amazing, and like Tom Cruise is a crazy motherfucker, but I respect his stunts.
He's gonna die,
and that's what he wants.
And the third movie is going to intentionally die.
What third movie?
The third movie of this Mission Impossible
of this part 3.
Trilogy.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is like movie 7.
I'm just saying that in the last movie, he's going to he's like, if he doesn't die in the stunt, he's going to skid off of the.
He's gonna kill himself.
Yeah. He's gonna skid off of the motorcycle that he just crashed and seppuku himself because he didn't die.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm in the theaters for it.
Yeah.
I'm there. It's exciting stuff. My next honorable mention is Asteroid City, Wes Anderson's latest.
I really want to see that too.
Great. Still has one of the best moments of cinema this year, which is the alien live stop motion scene. When people watch it, they'll understand. It's funny. I was taken aback. I was on medication at the time, and I was watching this movie like, this is an enjoyable movie. Like, I'm enjoying this. This is very fun. Wes Anderson. It's definitely Wes Anderson. Like, it's a little too Wes Anderson.
I see.
But I was just like, this is fine. I'm enjoying the crap out of this. And then all of a sudden, this scene with the alien happens, and I'm just there looking at the TV, just like, what? Like, I am just as awestruck as the characters in the movie are. Everybody is just like, what in the fuck? It's great. It's a great moment. Which leads me to another. I didn't write it down, but it was the only other 4-star review I gave, which is the other Wes Anderson movie that he made this year. It was a short. It was the Roald Dahl movie.
Oh, I watched all of those. Those were very good.
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Yeah. There's a couple more. There's The Rat Catcher. I think he did all of them. but they're.
I mean, it's all collected in
Yeah.
in this in the wonderful story of Henry Sugar, well told. It's like a 40-minute movie.
Yeah, they were all like 40 minutes long.
Oh,
There's like 5 of them.
I haven't watched the other ones then.
Yeah,
But I'll have to look into it.
they're really good.
But yeah, this one is Benedict Cumberbatch and Ray Fiennes, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah,
Everybody like it,
Yeah.
and it's good Wes Anderson. It's Wes Anderson style with Roald Dahl. We already know
Yeah.
that works.
yeah.
You know, we've had what was the Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't know if that's
Roald Dahl.
I don't know if it is, but like it's that kind of a story where it's like that and the Isle of Dogs, like that kind of feel. It works.
Yeah.
His style is so beautiful here, and I don't know, the wonderful story of Henry
Ray
Sugar.
Fiennes
Yeah.
is amazing. So it's the same cast in all of them.
Okay,
All
fabulous.
And well, give or take. Anyways, and in the Ratcatcher, Ray Fiennes plays the Ratcatcher, and
Nice.
it's amazing.
Hell
it's
yeah.
amazing. A little bit of Voldemort vibes.
Yeah.
More rat-like.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Voldemort and Peter Pettigrew had a baby. That's what it is.
Ew.
All right, let me give my honorable mention real quick, and then we'll do the best in
Yeah.
TV, and that'll be it.
I have one last, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Well, I think I mentioned Dial of Destiny was on there. Scott. Oh no, go ahead with you just got one more. Okay.
Oh yeah, my last one is American Symphony. It's a
Yeah.
it's a Netflix biography, biopic ish. It's nonfiction. I can't remember
Right.
what I'm trying to think
Yeah.
here, but it's about John Batiste, who is he was the singer songwriter band leader for Stephen Colbert's
Right.
band for a while.
And then he had the best album.
Yeah,
last year.
then he won for the Grammys last year, which is great. Went on his own. His wife got cancer again, and that's what the biography is about. Is him coming up with this beautiful American symphony that he's been writing with his wife, and her cancer comes back, and it's them dealing with it. It's very heartfelt, going through all these issues. When they perform, it's a one night only concert kind of thing, and when they perform, they have a stage blackout that
Gotcha.
just randomly happened right at the beginning, and it's like he couldn't hear his own playback, nobody else could hear anything, but all the lights were still on. None of the audience could realize any issues had just happened.
Right.
He ruled with it. He was just like, he was looking around, he's just like, everybody's like, we can't hear anything. He went into a piano solo that he just thought of on the spot. Beautiful. It's a very moving moment. Like, it's a good story. It's very beautiful bio.
Well, I put it on my list, but I thought it was gonna be like an album. I thought it was gonna be a movie album, but that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And I do want to watch it.
I really recommend.
So, my honorable mention list is it's not too long, but it's movies and TV. First up for TV, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. So it's a mini series that I thought was just going. I thought they're going to be doing a more comic true version of it, and I haven't read the comics, so I can't tell if that's what they did or not. But it is animated, but they have casted everybody the same as they were in the movie.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. So Michael Cera and Brie Larson are the main characters, Scott Pilgrim and Ramona.
Yeah.
And the first episode is exactly like that film, almost shot for shot. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just doing the comic book, and that'll be fun. Except at the very end, when Scott is supposed to fight the first Evil X of the 7 Evil X's, he disappears.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And thus an alternate timeline
Hell yeah.
is made. And that is what the rest of the series is. I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoy that they brought the whole cast back, and they have great chemistry. Maybe maybe even some of it better than they used to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I gave it a face and a half.
Nice. It's definitely on my list of watching.
It's
like
worth watching. Yeah. I would maybe rewatch the movie first. I kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Next, Trevor Noah.
Ooh.
Where Was I? It's his new stand-up special on Netflix that just came out.
Hell yeah.
Around Christmas time, and yeah, I give it a full face. I mean, it's hard to get a comedy special to get more than a full face. Yeah. But he's always good. He always kills it. And
I love his impressions.
Oh yeah, his impressions are hilarious. Yeah. He does some German impression.
Good.
And well, you know, he always is able to be deep, like talk about the actual issues. And I think because he came to America, when he talks from another country, when he talks about America, it's a fresher perspective, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, so I loved his Daily Show. I have not watched it since he left. I'll be honest.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can believe that. He was really good on it.
He was good.
So next I have Lockwood and Co., which I did talk about in Bangers and Hash one time.
I remember that.
Bangers and Hash is a Patreon exclusive, so go to patreon.com/green and faceless if you want to check that out.
Please.
So it is about a group of kids who hunt ghosts for a living, and it got canceled, and I think that's a shame because I thought it was really interesting, at least interesting enough to get a second season.
Yeah.
But maybe not enough people watched it or whatever. Who knows? Netflix.
They're fucking weird, man.
They're fucking weird. The next on there, I really enjoyed this, was Junji Ito's Maniac.
Also on my list.
The subtitle of which is Japanese Tales of the Macabre. So, yeah, there's a bunch of shorts. Some episodes have 2 stories in one, and they're all horror stories. And if you know Junji Ito out there, that he's got a very particular taste.
Very disturbed mind.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. So I do recommend that. I really want them to do one of his actual stories as a series or a movie.
Yeah, like Uzumaki or...
Uzumaki is the one I know. Yeah.
Ito.
Next, I have Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
I heard about this.
Yes, yeah. So I just wanted to mention it because... it happened, for one. Yeah. They don't have Bruce Willis, which is, for obvious reasons. Yeah. And I don't think that a lot of the cast returned either. Yeah, but it is a decent sequel to the story.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a sequel to... the original. For some
reason I thought it was just like a mini series or something weird.
Oh yeah, they could have went that way, I think, but I think it being just a movie is fine. There was some good funny moments, like there were in the first. I like what they do with the mice characters that kind of become Molly, who is Ginger and Rocket's daughter's uncles, and they really love her, and it's cute.
I don't remember anything about this movie.
So.
I remember. No, that's not true. I remember I don't remember the characters' names or anything.
Yeah.
I just remember the characters.
Yeah. Well, the 2 main characters, they have a baby named Molly, and she wants to get off the island that they're all on, but she doesn't understand that people think chicken is tasty.
Yeah.
So she gets caught up in this happy cage-free farm. And that's the plot of the story, and it's not as good as the original one because the original one obviously has very clear messaging. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure what they're trying to get.
Is that a Disney movie? Is that one that will?
It's on Netflix.
Well, I mean, but the original's.
It's DreamWorks.
Okay,
it's DreamWorks.
Okay, so when we do our DreamWorks playlist,
we'll maybe
come to a podcast near you.
I just give that a full face. I thought it might be terrible, and I thought I had to watch it for nostalgia reasons, and it's not terrible, so I wanted to mention it. My Adventures with Superman wasn't terrible. It was amazing, actually. I really enjoyed it. I thought, what are they going to do with this? And it kind of was like a slice of life anime, but with Superman.
Nice.
And I enjoyed that.
Hell yeah.
I
think I would like that.
Yeah, it was very nice. It's like it's him, Lois, and Jimmy becoming friends, and him and Lois becoming more than friends.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very cute.
Poor Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy has some other stuff going on. They're a fun character.
He always has.
Yeah. And let's see. I thought there was a couple more things. Yes, there's the Monkey King. I thought it had a subtitle, but I couldn't find it. But it's the animated feature on Netflix. I talked about it, I think, in Bangers and Hash. It is about the Monkey King, the ancient legend from China, and it is the story leading up to him going on the journey to the West, being a part of the journey to the West. And I give that a full face. Next is something I just watched this week as well, called Pokemon Concierge.
Oh God.
It's so cute.
Oh God.
It's adorable. It's very worth watching, and I do think in a long series, the kind of cutesy that it is could get tiresome, but it's only 4 episodes that are only like 16 minutes each.
That's fair.
And it's stop motion.
Oh, okay.
And all the Pokemon are little felt puppets.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
It's so cute. It's so good.
Oh, all right.
And that's the last thing on my list. And I really was looking at my TV list and was like, no, I can't put it on there, but I did really enjoy it.
Oh, that's fair.
It's a little kid show, but it's like one of the best little kid shows I've ever watched.
Well, let's do it. Let's run down the top 5 then.
Okay. I'll start if that's okay.
Yeah, number 5.
All right. Bottom of the list of the top, 5th place.
Yes.
Is One Piece, the live action interpretation. It was very good, very loyal. It condenses the show. Like I said, I've been watching the actual anime. It condenses the show, I think, very well. The casting is really good. And I had no complaints when I watched it.
Hell yeah.
Really.
It's on my list to watch. I'm definitely going to get to it.
One Piece, by the way, is about pirates in a world that is made of basically islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And searching for the One Piece.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, it's a treasure, the One Piece is.
Another animation. Well, this is anime style, but animation that was it's another adaptation, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that segue. Yeah. My number 5, Vox Machina season 2, came out way at the beginning of this year. Continued the obvious fun rampage of season 1. Yeah, it was good.
It was really good.
I love the voice acting. Great stuff.
Yeah. Lance Reddick.
Yeah, that was sad. But it's so good. They did a great job with this season.
Yeah.
Building off the Critical Role, show still. I'm excited for season 3. It's just fun and fun adventure.
If I didn't include shows that had a new season because I probably would have added a couple of things that are on your list to my list.
That's fair.
I only watched things that premiered this.
That's fair.
I mean, I only listed things that premiered this year.
Yeah, I like to include the new seasons because I don't watch a lot of TV.
Right,
and
that's fair.
It feels like
that's
a small
totally
accomplishment.
Fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. For one, I think Julia had a great second season. It's about Julia Child. And, I think we just finished it. If not, there's another episode coming out. But it's very cute. Her relationship with her husband is amazing. And she's a lot more badass than I gave her credit for.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
What's my number 4? My number 4 is Fall of the House of Usher.
Ah, that's my number 3.
It was very good. It is an adaptation of a Poe short story. But we did do a whole episode on it, so I guess I don't have to talk about it too much.
It's fucking great, man.
It was really a lot of fun. I liked the framing of it particularly.
Mike Flanagan rules.
Yes.
Mike Flanagan
He
rules.
does. I give it a face and a half.
Hell yeah. Good Omens 2. Good Omens Season 2 is my number 4. God, I love David Tennant. I love Martin Short.
Would be on my list.
Wait, Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah, Martin Sheen. I said Martin Short. It's Martin Sheen.
That's a different guy.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's not Michael Sheen either.
I watched Treasure Planet the other day.
Oh my goodness.
He's in that. Martin Short.
Yeah. But no, I loved Good Omens Season 2. Went very, completely new grounds in the book. Mm-hmm. So it's all this stuff that Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett wanted to write that now they're including in their sequel that they had planned will be the finale season.
Terry Pratchett passed away, right?
Yeah. Before they ever made this show.
Yeah.
Great man. Same with Neil Gaiman. Very funny. And David Tennant is phenomenal.
Oh, yes. They're both so good in it.
They have great chemistry.
And the break that they took in between the seasons did not change the character is at all, nor their chemistry, which obviously they're best friends. So.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Staged by chance, I haven't been able to watch it because it's it's on BBC iPlayer and not a lot on YouTube, but like what I've seen of Staged, which is their meta show about them wanting to make shows together, and it's just them like doing a bunch of web interviews with each other. It's funny as fuck. Like, it's great. They have such good chemistry.
I gotta check that out. Okay. Number 3, I have Life on Our Planet.
Oh my goodness.
This is a docu-series.
Holy fuck.
Docu-series might be a bit loose for it because what they do is they go from the beginning of our planet's existence, and with CGI, beautiful CGI, by the way, like crystal clear.
Nice.
They go through all the stages of and eras and whatever you call them, eons of life. What's the word?
Parks.
No.
Jurassic and Triassic.
Periods, I guess. But yeah, anyways, so there's a lot of CGI and stuff going on. But guess who's at the helm of this project?
David Tennant.
Steven Spielberg. You got it right. So he knows how to make these dinosaurs feel good.
Yeah.
And I learned so much about like what we know and what we think, how we think things are connected.
Did he talk about how he got dinosaurs wrong in Jurassic Park?
I don't think he does, but they have feathers and
well, man, like even just the planet. Raptors in general. This is not an actual raptor. Everybody thinks it's a raptor. It's like, oh man.
The raptors were focused on, though. Good. I will say that.
He's like, this is an actual raptor.
And it was just really good. And I guess I don't know if Steven Spielberg had a part of this other a docuseries that was on Netflix, also narrated by Morgan Freeman. But it kind of had the same vibe as that. But this was just so well done, especially in the visual department.
Gotcha.
And we watched it on that brand new OLED TV.
Yeah, I knew this was a pitch for your TV.
Yeah. It was beautiful, though. But anyways, I mean, any TV, I'm sure it'll look great on. It was
just
an
not
amazing
as
show.
good. Yeah.
It was an amazing show, and I learned a lot, and I thought it was beautiful, masterfully done.
Hell yeah.
Face and a half.
We already talked about my number 3, Fall of the House of Usher.
All right.
What is your number 2?
Number 2 is Physical 100. Do you remember me talking about this?
I know.
I don't think I ever actually managed to bring it to Bangers and Hash, but I know I talked to you about it in real life. Physical 100 is a reality competition show from Korea.
Fuck yeah, okay.
And I had to watch it. It's like, a physical test kind of thing. And they bring in all sorts of different athletic types. Like there's, weightlifters, there's Olympian runners and gymnastic people, and also like someone who does mountain climbing rescue was on the show as well, and he did rather well. And it's also all genders as well.
Yeah.
I say all genders. I don't think that they're as open. They're as open. They're about
but like it's
non-binary.
Mixed. Yeah, it's not
exactly.
men versus men. It's men versus anybody.
Exactly. And there are a couple of women who actually make it rather far in the series, but they do a qualifying round, and then they do a big task, and they eliminate like 25 people each episode until they get down to like the last 15 or whatever. Gotcha. And I know that's not how math works, but it just gets more and more tense. But these people the whole time are very encouraging to each other.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's what made me fall in love with it.
Nice.
Is that they're like, yeah, you can fucking do this. And if they fall, it's like, oh, that's all right. You'll get it next time.
That's all right. I might win.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously they were all trying their damnedest.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it, is that they approached the game how I feel I would. And that might be a little conceited. But I when I play games, I do try my hardest, but I want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah. You don't want to fuck people over intentionally.
Yeah. And there's a little bit that was part of the competition that, especially because some of it was head-to-head stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I hope they come out with a second season. And, there was actually a couple of American-born people on the show. One in particular was a first baseman in a Japanese team, baseball team. And he actually, not Japanese, I'm sorry, Korean. But he I don't think he actually spoke Korean. He only spoke English to the camera. Which was interesting because it's very well dubbed as well.
Oh, good.
So I watched the dub, and they do a very good job of matching the voice, the movement-ish, while still saying what the person said.
Nice.
Yeah. I just really enjoyed it, and I can't recommend it enough.
Hell yeah. My number 2 is The Last of Us.
Nice.
It was a very fun pandemic-y show.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like my biggest hesitation.
But it was well handled, I think. Pedro Pascal is phenomenal. So is Bella Ramsey. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, they're so amazing. Great story. Like I barely played the games. I have played enough to know that they were very loyal to the game. In regards to like story and everything, like it's great. It was like every episode was emotional and touching and moving.
Yeah,
like, it was fun.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah, it was great.
In fact, it's my number 1.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool. Like the fucking way. So it's a zombie show, but the way that the zombies happen is by a fungus. And it's like shit that actually freaks me out.
Yeah. The fungus evolved to find a new host.
Yes, and it was because of global warming.
Yeah, which is a real thing. I thought it was a myth.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Now my wife has a stem coming out her neck. She's trying to eat me. That's one part I don't quite get, is them trying to eat it. Oh, well, because it spreads the infection. The fungus.
The fungus must live.
Fungus must live.
That means it's just my number 1.
That's right.
And maybe I'm biased. My favorite entertainment of all this year was the return of Doctor Who to television. 4 specials, 3 of them starring David Tennant, 1 starring Ncuti Gatwa for the Christmas special. And the return of Russell T Davies to the showrunning position. He restarted the show back in 2005, ran it for about 10 to, not 10, 5 to 6 years.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, quite a while. And now he's back. Back at a time when a lot of people consider that we desperately needed it.
Yeah.
No offense to Chris Chibnall. His era of the show was
not very good.
Slapshod. Didn't seem guided, no guidance whatsoever. It kind of seemed like he had an idea, but he didn't know really what he was doing. He was floundering everywhere with it. and Russell just seems like he's stepping in, and rather than doing what a lot of the fans wanted, which was just toss all that aside and act like it didn't happen, Russell is embracing it in a very interesting way that I think is fascinating. I'm very excited for the future of the show. I know a lot of people are complaining and bitching, but I think it's fun. Them complaining is fun, but the show also is fun. Like and Shurigawa, I've already mentioned it when we talked Barbie. I have an unhealthy obsession with this man.
It's well deserved, though.
It's good.
Because he's fantastic. I've been watching Sex Education.
Yes.
He's fantastic.
He's the best part of that show.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah. I do really like Maeve and her story. Yeah. But I think that if I was considering shows that didn't have past seasons, that this would be right up there at number 1 as well.
Hell yeah.
I've had an amazing time watching these episodes. The Shurigawa episode, particularly when he arrives, is very good.
With David Tennant,
yeah. And his first solo episode too.
It's really beautiful too, because it's like he's never been Shurigawa has never been a big fan, but it was a show of his childhood, and he has mentioned in many interviews that David Tennant as the Doctor was one of the reasons he became an actor, was because he loved David's performance as the Doctor.
Nice.
But once he got hired, he rewatched all of it again, and now he's like a huge mega fan. It's fucking hilarious, and I love it. But no, he just gets the Doctor so well.
Yeah, really, he does.
He brings all the charisma back that the Doctor's been not necessarily lacking, but has been lacking from the writing.
Yeah,
and he just brought it all back with just like 1.5 episodes. It's so exciting. I can't wait for where it's going. The first whole episode, he's pantsless. Thank you. And that's a decision that I can thank David Tennant for. There are 2 men in this world. I am bisexual individual, but I prefer women more over men, I will say. They're very, very niche male thing, like very niche attractions in men. Yeah. But I would, for a long time, David Tennant was like, that's the man that attracts me the most, because there's a lot about David Tennant I love. That has been replaced by Shurigawa. And that entire episode has both of these incredibly beautiful men. It's phenomenal. It's great. And David Tennant was given the decision of what pieces of his wardrobe he wanted to continue wearing and what pieces Shuri would be wearing. And David kept the pants. So we got Shuri without pants for a whole episode, and thank you, David Tennant.
It was so
much.
It was beautiful. I loved this comeback, and I can't wait. In fact, I don't actually know when it's coming back again. May? That's not that.
That's
not that
far.
bad.
It's not far.
Yeah.
Just in time for my birthday, we'll get half a season, and it'll be my birthday, and we'll get another half in a season.
Fuck yeah.
I can't wait.
Nice.
Yeah, I have already... no joke. This is disturbing. I know. I have watched every episode 4 times of the specials.
new.
Yeah, I watched all of them. They came out. I watched them when they came out twice. It was literally I would watch it, hit the restart button, rewatch it, and then just whenever the next one came out, I was like, well, I should watch the other one too. So now I've watched all of them 4 times, and I fucking love it. Are there issues? Yeah, it's not the greatest. There's there've been better episodes of Doctor Who, but it's phenomenal. I can't wait.
I really did enjoy it.
Oh.
So I think we did it.
We did it.
I think we did all of the things.
2023.
Holy crap! It was a bit longer than I thought it would take.
It's about an hour and a half. That same ish.
We'll see how much of that gets shaved off. But
I'll shave off a lot.
That's our show.
It is, yeah. 2023. You were mostly blah, but
I hope there's better to come, and I hope I get to go to the theater more often. But
I will say there's
needs to go down.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To make that happen.
Yeah. Come on, Biden. But I don't know. There's a lot. I've looked at the movies coming out this year and some of the shows coming out this year. There's not a lot that excite me. I'm very excited for Furiosa. That's very exciting.
That could be interesting.
Dune. I'm excited for
Dune
Dune.
Part 2, I do want to watch, yeah.
I feel like I said that in a very dumb way. Dune. We're very excited for Dune.
It's a huge Dune.
It's huge. The biggest movie.
Have you seen the worm?
It's the big worm.
All right, that's the
Sloopy
show.
Sloop.
We're done. We don't want to do any more Trump ever.
I am the Green Traveler from Gours.
And I am the Faceless Byron. Good travels and good night.
Baron.